I don't like that one bit.
Nope. Nope, because we love the beach.
Yeah, we love the beach.
But don't you worry, we have Lake Erie, and there are no sharks.
Exactly. I knew that was coming, and we love that too.
We do, but it is important for folks to know the dangers of our water temperature now. It's in the mid-50s right off Cleveland. And I was talking earlier that just 1 to 2 hours, if you find yourself kind of stuck in there, you know, people want to get out. They want to kayak, they want to paddleboard, and not only get on a boat, that's another thing, but things can turn a little tricky pretty quickly. So remember, pack your patience. Even if you're trying to get out on the waters, it's not the best time to be out in Lake Erie for a prolonged period of time, even if you find yourself stuck there. But things are going to start to warm on up. And this is one of those weeks where in a matter of about 2 weeks or so, our water temperature itself is going to be drastically warmer just because of where our actual afternoon high temperatures are going to be. I want to give you perspective before I dive into the forecast of our first 90-degree day over the past 5 years. Last year it was June 1st, which if you've been looking at a calendar, that would be this time, about this week last year. So we're maybe due for our first 90-degree day. If then you're looking back in time, you might say, okay, the year before that, it was pretty late through the month of June, but we've had them happen in the month of May in years past. And I don't think it's too far out of the question for parts of Northeast Ohio to hit 90 degrees sometime and point this week. Just look at the high temperatures for the next 5 days. Our average high temperature this time of the year for late May, early June is at about 75 degrees. The temperatures themselves through the afternoon and evening this week are going to be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than they should be. By Thursday, we are closer to 90 degrees, even closer to the lake. Remember, as meteorologists here at 3 News, we forecast specifically for Cleveland Hopkins, and then we give trends on other temperatures across the area. Through the afternoon and evening, just like today and tomorrow will be much of the same. Our immediate lakeshore gets a little bit cooler. That's because we have a breeze right off of the lake. And remember, I told you it was in the mid-50s. Dover right now 5 degrees shy of 90, 3 shy in Youngstown from 90 degrees. It has been warm, it has been breezy, and things have been pretty comfortable too on top of it all. Across the region, not a huge waiver in temperature from spot to spot, especially if you had travel plans this weekend or if you have folks visiting right now. Welcome to Cleveland, and I hope your travel home is easy peasy as well. And I think it will be that if you're especially headed west. If you're headed toward the mid-Atlantic, they continue to deal with the storm system that I'll show you here in just a second. But I mentioned conditions are comfortable. We use dew point temperature to measure the moisture content in the atmosphere, and things are still pretty dry, and that's thanks to a dominant high just to our north, an area low through the mid-Atlantic creating some of that cloud cover, not only some rain-cooled air for them, but a little extra moisture going their way. And there have been coastal flood concerns up and down part of the eastern seaboard just thanks to their persistent northeast flow too. But through time, I want to give you a little extra proof that we are actually going to stay plenty dry this week in your National Zymer big picture forecast. Take a look at the Buckeye State. I've stopped you through every afternoon here. Our rain chances are so bone dry this weekend. You're going to have to stay on top of any of your watering schedules outside. Maybe let the kiddos have fun with the sprinkler or the hose over the next couple of days too. Obviously, don't forget to turn it off as you go maybe inside for the evening, or maybe it's the morning too. Remember to avoid the peak heat of the day too when you do that. 70s back into the 60s tonight, and as we start off tomorrow, we will continue to warm through mid-morning. We will be in the 70s, the mid-70s. As a high temperature tomorrow, we are going to be in the mid-80s, as I already maybe alluded to earlier in the forecast. But things, if you're maybe headed to your local ice cream spot, will get messy pretty quickly, especially if you got the popsicles in hand too, as the kiddos and the grandkids maybe head out to the backyard too. They might need a few extra runs around the yard in that sprinkler too. Union Home Mortgage extended forecast, 80s, sunny, dry, perfection. Remember, things are going to be comfortable too. You asked for this months ago, and we here are delivering.
Well, thank you for that. We're very excited about it.
Me too.
All right, Peyton, thanks.